Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for being here. Once a year, we meet here to honor the men and women who died serving our country, a sober and a difficult experience. It's tradition to explain why we are here at the Verne Veterans Memorial. I have a personal policy not to tell war stories while speaking on Memorial Day, but today I'm pausing the policy. You see, this war story started at Costco in Mission Viejo. I understand it's a different place to start a war story. I was shopping there with my wife Annette, and like all husband shoppers, I was pushing a large shopping cart filled with 10 more items than we came to buy. No, that's not the war story. But on this day, I was wearing my Air Force ball cap. And then looking down the aisle, I could see another ball cap coming our way. Bright red with gold lettering, Marine Veteran. The Marine stopped and said hello, and like all veterans, the first words he spoke was a question. Hey, Air Force, where did you serve? Then began the exchange of the names of cities, bases, and regions. Pusan, Tejan, Osan, Benoit, Da Nang. As veterans, a long war story is not necessary when speaking to another vet. Each location is the story. Then the Marine, his voice changed, and he said, Quezon Valley. I understood that to mean very difficult duty. We talked a little longer about life in the military, and then we said goodbye. The Marine, instead of saying thank you for your service, said, good job staying alive. That phrase struck me like a thunderbolt. It caused a giant flashback. As veteran knows, when the crap is about to hit the fan, it doesn't matter if you're on a ship, in a sub, in an aircraft, working on a base, a fort, a station, or just in some far-off place dug into the mud. You're there trying hard to stay alive and trying to keep those drug in beside you to stay alive. You're not thinking of your oath of service or your code of conduct. You think of two things that you learned early in your military training on the rifle range by the range master. Number one, keep your damn head down and maintain your field of fire. Rule number two, I'm not going to tell you again, keep your damn head down and maintain your field of fire. The expletives have been deleted. You and all the men and women that served remember this or a similar drill. And when the time came, we all knew that we had to depend on one another to do a good job fighting and to stay alive. The battle begins and the bullets zing and whoosh above your head. You hear the boom of grenades on your right. You hear the low whistle and thud just before a mortar explodes. Your sweat drips into your eyes. You can smell the gunpowder, the body odor, the urine, and more. You press your body into the mud until you can feel the moisture soak through your uniform. And you keep your damn head down and you maintain your field of fire. Finally, the fight is finished. Thank God it's quiet. You look to your left and you look to your right, and you can see that your buddies are okay. But you look down the line and you see Joe on his back. The quiet is shattered. You hear the call, medic, over here, medic. But you know Joe is dead. Joe fought hard, but he died doing his best to stay alive. So it's for Joe and the 1.3 million men and women that fought and died for this country. They are the reason we are here, to honor them for the good job they did keeping us alive. Memorial salute. Ready? Salute. Ready? Two. Detail. Post.
For the guards, touch it, hoot! For arms, and a half step, forward, hard. Tell them half left, hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Present arms.
Hard side, hard. Ready, hold. Left face. Present arms. Advance the post of colors. Ready, post. March one step forward.
Order. Arms.
Order, arms.
Stand at ease.
Parade wrist.
Veterans and all present, the city of Laverne and the men and women of VFW Post 12034, the Band of Brothers, present our Memorial Day ceremony.
Yeah, it's been.
AJ, adjutant's called. Adjutant. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Laverne Public Safety Honor Guard, present the colors.
Good.
For the opening prayer, Laverne Veterans Memorial Chaplain Lincoln Dial.
Boulevard, parade wrist.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, as I stand here amongst these flags, the half staff, I'm reminded that I'm humbled of the price that was paid so that I could stand here today. Lord, I thank you for your love. I thank you for how you paid the ultimate price for all of us. And I thank you how you've demonstrated that love over and over, time and time again, through the lives of these heroes who've made today possible for all of us to be here. Lord, we thank you for our city, our state, our country. And I thank you for the heroes that we honor today.
Lord, I pray that you would bless this ceremony now. In your precious name, Lord, we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Our singer, Anna Aguilar, would you please come forward? And Scouting America Troop 411 and Girl Scout Troop 7221, would you please come forward? The Verne Public Safety Honor Guard, prepare the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Guard, hut.
If you're a veteran or in uniform, salute. If not, place your right hand over your heart. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
Laverne Public Safety Honor Guard, prepare the colors.
Company, attention, hut. Present, arms. Color guard, present, hard.
It is an honor and a privilege to be here with you today. Please stand if you are able. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? God bless America.
Left phase, port arms. And a half step, forward, hard.
Scouts, thank you very much. You're dismissed. Anna Aguilar, thank you very much for lending us your beautiful voice. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Commander Phil Ramirez. Please be seated.
Good morning and welcome. I am Specialist 5th Class Phil Ramirez, United States Army from 1969 to 1972, and Commander of the VFW Post 12034. Please join me in welcoming our guest, Mayor Tim Hepburn, Elena Robles, representing Senator Susan Rubio. U.S. Representative Gilberto Cisneros. Sergeant Brian Anderson. Sam Villanueva for Assemblyman John Harabedians. And our special guest, U.S. Representative Grace Napolitano. Thank you for joining us today on this Memorial Day, the last Monday of May. Many see today as an unofficial start of summer. There are those who refer today as a Happy Memorial Day or a Happy Memorial Weekend. For many, today means more than relaxing and barbecuing. The true meaning of Memorial Day is the day we pay homage to all those who did not come home, whether it was from overseas or the United States soil. This is the day of solemn mediation over the cause of freedom, to reflect on the tragic loss of life and recounting the courageousness of those brave men and women who put themselves in harm's way and defend the liberty we hold dearly today. It is a day to honor and mourn. It is a day marked by visits to cemeteries where flags and wreaths are placed on veterans' graves. Many ceremonies are taking place today to serve a reminder of the sacrifices made in service to this country. We will never forget those brave men and women who not only answered the call, but whose service to their country culminated with the ultimate sacrifice. Today is a tribute to our heroes and the freedom they died to preserve. And it also reminds us of the high price of freedom and the debt of gratitude we owe to those who have made that sacrifice. We must not forget the families of our heroes who were left behind to face grief, loneliness, and heartache. We must be supportive and let them know we are here for them. To truly honor the lives of the heroes, we must do so by sharing their stories with others, especially the younger generation, to ensure their memories live on even though they are gone. Let others know that we owe a debt to our fallen heroes that can never fully be repaid. Tell them that a hero is someone who has given his or her life to something bigger than themselves. No matter where their battlefields were, the mountains of Afghanistan, desert of Iraq or Syria, skies over Europe, islands of the Pacific, frozen terrain of Korea, and jungles of Vietnam, or even in the United States, the stories of our fallen comrades matter and need to be told today, tomorrow, and their stories should never be forgotten. They have earned our undying gratitude. Let us carry their sacrifice with us in our hearts and strive to honor their memory by being good and faithful, hopeful, and strong. Our fallen heroes lived for duty, honor, and their country, and died for it. As a nation, we must remind ourselves of the future they fought for and do our best to live up to those values in the days ahead. Thank you for joining us today. God bless our heroes, and God bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Mayor of the City of Laverne, Tim Hepburn.
Good morning, everybody. There we go. Let's wake up here as we celebrate and remember those that give us the freedom that we sit here today and enjoy. We must always remember and never forget. I want to thank Commander Phil Ramirez. I want to thank Dan Harden and all those. And I don't know if you guys did notice, I know that Robin Carter is going to be up here soon. These amazing statues. One more to follow, apparently. But I'll leave that short, but a round of applause. I want to thank Robin Carter, Dan Harden. I want to thank Don Kendrick. This doesn't happen without an effort. And all those that participated, and we're not done yet. This is amazing. And this is why we remember we have our Veterans Memorial. We never, ever want to forget those that served, and as Commander Ramirez said, never came home. And this is a remembrance. You come by, sit down, say a prayer for the family that never had their loved ones come home. Never forget. Now, I can't be mayor of the city without some amazing people behind me. I want to introduce Mayor Pro Tem Meshel Kashafagita, military, still. He's retired, but not. He's active. We've got Council Member Steve Johnson, Council Member Wendy Lau, and Council Member Rick Crosby. Rick, you have two people with you that have served. Is that correct, sir? Thank you very much. Thank you for your service. Again, and also Mayor Don Kendrick, Councilmember Dan Harden, Councilmember Robin Carter. If I've missed anybody, thank you for your service to this community. It's just another dedication that you do, and you love this community so well, and this is part of your love right here, and we really appreciate that. Also, I have our city manager, Ken Domer, in the back there somewhere. He's floating around. Without that, we couldn't serve this wonderful community, so we thank you. I would like to now, and thank you to Grace Napolitano for your amazing service and your amazing service to the veteran community. You are a beacon, and you'll always be a bright and shining star for our city of Laverne. Along with that, U.S. Congressman Gil Cisneros, who served and is an amazing bright star. He serves our community well, and I want to welcome U.S. Congressman Gil Cisneros.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to the City Council for this event, and thanks to the VFW, both the Color Guard for coming out and that, and but really kind of building this memorial, putting it together. And I want to say a gracious hello to my former colleague, Grace Napolitano. Thank you for being here, and thank you for everything that you've done. It is an honor to be here in the city of Laverne this morning to pay tribute and honor to those who lost their lives paying the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Memorial Day is a great reminder of the courage, selflessness, honor, and sacrifice of the brave men and women who lost their lives to protect our freedom at home. We remember their names, pay respect to their families, and honor their legacies. Taking a look around, I see the whole community show up for our fallen heroes, so thank you all for being here today. It's not just a day for family, friends, or an extra day off for the weekend where you can go out and do whatever. This day is truly an honor to those, to make sure that we honor those who served and gave their lives, believing in the promise and freedom of the United States of America. And I'm deeply touched to see the faces of our nation's heroes, our Gold Star families, service members, and veterans. My father, grandfather, my uncles, cousins, and even myself have spent time in uniform, and I'm really extremely proud of my family's history of service. This past Thursday, I was down at the Vietnam War Memorial with another group of veterans who are also members of Congress. And every Memorial Day weekend, we go and we basically wash the Vietnam War Memorial out there with soap and water and some brushes, and to make sure that we kind of do that. And it's something that we do. It's become a tradition now that's I think for the last like 6 years we've been doing that. But there's one name in particular on the wall that always has the deep meaning for my family. And it's the name Henry Solis, who was my father's cousin. He was a Vietnam veteran who paid the ultimate sacrifice in January of '68, right before his 20th birthday, losing his life. So every time I go down there and every time we do the washing, I always make sure to kind of find his name and pay tribute to him. But I also, take this time on Memorial Day to remember my Uncle Alex Cisneros, who was my dad's brother, who actually did 2 tours in Vietnam, came back, and after that decided to make the Army his career. But unfortunately, while in uniform, he lost his life in an accident. But let us never forget the soldiers like, Henry Solis or my Uncle Alex, and all the service members, no matter what branch of service you served in, those that paid the ultimate sacrifice. They left behind a legacy for generations to come, and may their stories be passed down so that we never forget the honor and valor that they've done for our country. But let us never ever forget the cruelty of war so that we may always strive for peace. And if I can, I'd like to take a few minutes to recognize a few here. First, I'd like to recognize Sergeant Brian Anderson. Sergeant Brian Anderson is a United States Army veteran, and I'm proud to honor your dedication and sacrifice to our nation, your commitment to defending our freedom, and your ongoing contributions to the veteran community. Your determination and leadership inspires those around you and serves as a testament to the values we hold dear. On behalf of California's 31st Congressional District, thank you for your service and for being a remarkable example of courage and commitment. To the Band of Brothers VFW Post 12034, in recognition of the devotion and service of the Band of Brothers VFW Post 13034, it is with immense pride that I acknowledge your exceptional commitment to uplifting veterans and their families, showcasing the very essence of service and sacrifice within the San Gabriel Valley. Through your advocacy and programs, you not only fostered camaraderie and awareness among service members, but have also inspired gratitude and remembrance for all who bravely served our nation. On behalf of California's 31st Congressional District, thank you for your tireless efforts to honor our veterans and support our military community. So, thank you. Actually, let's do it in front of the podium. And the last one I have is for Congresswoman Grace Napolitano. In recognition of your exceptional contributions and dedication to service to the San Gabriel Valley, I am proud to honor your commitment to supporting our service members, veterans, and advocating for mental health awareness. This is a testament to your passion for improving the lives of those who have served in our nation. On behalf of California's 31st Congressional District, thank you for your tireless efforts and loyalty to our nation, veterans, and their families. And I know the city of Laverne and the VFW Post also appreciate your financial contribution to the building of the statues. So thank you.
One, two, three.
Just again, thanks everybody for being here, and to all our veterans here and their families, thank you for your service and sacrifice. And happy Memorial Day for myself and the 31st Congressional District. But again, let's always keep in mind what this day is for and remember those who paid that ultimate sacrifice. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Congressman. Appreciate that. I think we have also, is Sam Villanita in? Does he have a certificate from John Harbidian's office? No, we'll go with Elena Robles, Senior District Representative for Susan Rubio, another one of our advocates. I think she's got a certificate here. And thank you, Susan Rubio. She is an advocate also for our wonderful community, our university, as Grace is, and also with Congressman Cisneros. How are you?
Good morning, everybody. Senator Susan Rubio likes to come to these events. As you know, she is a part of a military family. Her brother served in the U.S. Army. So she always likes to go to every event that she can. Unfortunately, she has 15 cities she covers, so she couldn't be here today. But she asked me to come here. Besides coming to honor all those who are no longer with us, she asked me to come and help celebrate Mr. Anderson, the Band of Brothers, and of course, my former boss, Congresswoman Grace Napolitano. So on behalf of Senator Susan Rubio, I too have some certificates honoring all of you that are being honored today, and she wanted me to come and say thank you to the families of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, and thank you to everybody who is here and who helps honor our veterans. Thank you. Oh, I think, okay. So, can I get let's see, Congresswoman Napolitano? I'm gonna go over there. For the sake of time, I will leave the certificates here, but we'll definitely honor those who deserve it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Please give our welcome to Senator Rubio. Again, if this doesn't happen without a village, and we definitely have a village here, the dedicated people, also our state and federal partners that are amazing, but our band of brothers and sisters, 12034, thank you very much. Our Boy Scout, Girl Scout troops, our city group that puts this together, but at the end of the day, we care about our veterans. We always care about our veterans. And you look great in that statue there, sir. You look great. Congratulations and thank you. Thank you for your service. I'll turn it back over. Thank you, Mr. Harden.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin our honor ceremony. Would the commander, vice commander, and junior commander please post? Our honor ceremony is for Grace Napolitano. The commander will have a few comments to begin with.
Once again, Congresswoman Grace Napolitano, who is an American Democratic politician who served in the United States House of Representatives. She loves family, cooking, warm weather, and especially loves all us veterans. Representative Napolitano donated her distinguished congressional archives to the University of Laverne. These archives will serve to educate and inspire researchers and future public servants. She has been a strong advocate for immigration reform, voting rights, and has been a powerful voice for the veterans. She has worked on proposals to improve VA mental health services and was a key priority for legislation to provide mental health equality in health insurance. She has also participated in forums to discuss benefit programs with veterans and their family members. She has hosted congressional briefing on veterans' mental needs. Representative Grace Napolitano, I will now present you with the plaque. Can I take the microphone? Okay. With our greatest appreciation for your support and commitment to American veterans at the Laverne Veterans Memorial Ceremonies on Veterans Day and Memorial Days, the Band of Brothers awards Grace Napolitano, member of the U.S. House of Representatives from California from January 3rd, 1999 to January 3rd, 2025, a recognition as an honorary member of our VFW Post 12034, the Band of Brothers. Congratulations. Would you like to say something?
Just thank you, everybody. I will be here as long as I can.
You can take that.
Many of you do not know that Grace Napolitano is the queen of guacamole. So just so you know, when she was in office, there was many decisions to be made that guacamole pushed it over the edge and supported her and all of us. So thank you, Grace. We need that recipe in the archive.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, would like to begin our celebration of the statues that you see before you. We would like to welcome Robin Carter, former Laverne City Council member, and Don Kendrick, U.S. Navy veteran.
Good morning. As we come together today to remember the men and women who gave their all for our country so that we could live freely because of their bravery, I will now be sharing with you our fundraising campaign for these beautiful bronze statues. Our Veterans Day of last year, November 11th, 2024, we announced our fundraising campaign, but we weren't exactly sure how we could reach enough people to get their support. We received a great suggestion from Wendy Lau, Laverne City Council member, as we stood talking while standing in front of the obelisk on Veterans Day. She asked, "Why don't you ask all the people who bought pavers in this area to contribute?" Fortunately, the Community Services Department had all the records from the beginning of paver purchases. Our fear was how many people may have moved or are they no longer with us. Wow, did we get lucky. Only 15% of our mailings were returned and the money started flowing in. To date, approximately $20,000 had been received from this source alone. That got us on a good flow of money, but it wasn't going to be near enough for what you see here today. At this time, I would like to introduce Joseph C. and Ruth Reed Foundation for the Arts. The primary mission of the Reed Foundation is to provide experiences in fine arts for students and others in the Southern California region from Santa Barbara to San Diego. The foundation helps support more than 30 art programs. One of the important programs the Reed Foundation supports takes place at Camp Pendleton Marine Base, where Marines and their families have access to art as therapy for PTSD. This year, the Reed Foundation has chosen to contribute $30,000 to the Laverne Memorial Committee Statue Fund for the statues you see here today. We want to recognize the Reed Foundation as the largest contributor to the creation of the bronze statues. They are truly a work of art. I would like now to introduce Vicki Connolly. If you could please stand so we can recognize you and thank you for your generous support. Thank you. We have a second major donor. We honored her just a few minutes ago, Grace Napolitano. Up and down her family tree are members who have served and are serving today. She is truly an advocate for veterans and a very good and true friend to Laverne. We have thanked her many times in the past, including just a few minutes ago. But can we do it one more time for a truly great leader? Grace, thank you for your support. You've heard about our highest donors, but how about the rest? We have had donors come up and hand us a small amount saying, "This is all I could afford," and we are so grateful for all these donations. At the memorial service for Diane Deal earlier this month, who is a community member, and her family asked for all donations to be made to the statue fund, and we have received those donations. Pomona Valley Hospital, Fairplex, Hillcrest, Casa Colina have also contributed. City contractors have stepped up also. In fact, one of the contractors was here watching the statues being installed. It seemed as if any time we mentioned the statues and gave someone a packet of information, they wanted to be a part of this project. It's truly been a wonderful experience. The old saying, it's never a money problem, only an idea problem. This is a great idea, and the contributions of money has been wonderful. But we are not done yet. We would love your help. A fourth statue is coming, and we will be here late in summer or early fall. Please be a part of all that is happening. You have in your program a list of donors to this point, but we would love to add your name to this list. On the side street, there's a table off to the side telling the story of the memorial prior to the addition to the statues. We are adding a section that will tell the story of the statues. We will also add a section for donors, and will include all that have been donated, and would love to include your name. We have information with us today for donations that you can take with you at this time if you would like. The last group that I would like to thank is a very generous donor. That is our city of Laverne. Not only did they allow us to move forward with this project, but they allowed city staff to perform the necessary work to see this beautiful memorial come to significant completion. Dan Kesey, who is a retired public works director, was asked and he volunteered to come back to supervise the expansion. He actually supervised the original building of the memorial. Romero Nunez was the on-site supervisor. I can't tell you how many public works staff contributed to the expansion of concrete, electricity for our uplighting and installation of the statues. They planned, executed the installation of the statues with professionalism and pride. This is a very serious donation from the city and is greatly appreciated. So when this event is over, I would like everyone to take the time, when you see a city employee, city council, and administrator, just take the time to thank them for allowing this to happen and for all the work that they did. Thank you.
Good morning. I would like to say thank you for everybody that's here. When I get here every Memorial Day and Veterans Day, I always get lots and lots of hugs from people that I know, people that I served with. It's great. It's great to be a resident of Laverne. Most of us have heard the term, imitation is the highest form of flattery. It certainly is in the case here. If you go up the 101 freeway to a community called Buellton, which is about 3 miles west of Solvang, there's a Split P. Anderson restaurant. Most of us have probably eaten there, especially if you've got the hair color that I do. About a half a block north of the Split P. Anderson restaurant is in the median, and there's a north-south street, but there's a wide medium. And in that medium is an American flag. And around that American flag is statues. Bronze statues of kids, adults, all looking at the flag. It's a very stunning display of patriotism. The seed of interest at that time was planted. That was a little over 2 years ago. How could we create that type of memorial here in Laverne? In Buellton, it's appreciation of kids and adults of our flag and what it stands for. Here, it's a Veterans Memorial that stands in appreciation of our veterans and those who died in service. But this didn't happen without a lot of research, planning, and execution of that plan. We divided our plan into 3 parts: city approval, the creation of statues, and how to pay for it. What you see today is success of all 3 parts of that plan. I would like to take this time to do the same thing that Robin Carter did. I would like to thank our mayor, Tim Hepburn, the other city council and staff for allowing us to move forward with this project. Many memorials have statues, but we wanted something to represent all the services. We wanted a male, we wanted a female, and we wanted a wounded warrior. The first 2 were pretty easy. We could easily find them. Check out the internet. But the third, a wounded warrior, eluded us. We just didn't see anything that we wanted to put in our memorial. In July of 2016, Brian Anderson appeared on the front page of Guidepost magazine in a wheelchair that you see in the statue and under Brian. Upon contacting him, he readily agreed to be the guest speaker on Memorial Day 2017, 8 years ago today. There's a picture of Brian on page 2 of your program from that day. It might have been my picture, I don't know. We're extremely proud to share with you today our friend Brian Anderson. Brian is here with us and we're going to hear from him in a few minutes. But first I would like to introduce his family. We'll start off with his mother, Janet. His dad, Jim. They're all sitting right here in front row, not too far away from Brian. Brian has an identical twin brother, and that is Bobby, who also served. Thank you very much, Bobby. His wife, Tracy. His daughter, Andy, and son, Lincoln. There's a little tidbit that I didn't write in my script, but I think it's really cool. And I think it's really cool because I'm also an identical twin brother. But if you look at Brian's left hand, which is one of the artificial pieces that Brian has, it is modeled after his twin brother's left hand. Who else could be a better model than Bobby? If you view the platforms the statues are positioned on, it appears that something is missing, a void in front of the female officer. We forgot something. When my friend Diane Deal, whose sister's here, Jeannie, thank you for being here, Jeannie. When I gave her a packet, which I've handed out lots of them, she said, "Don, you're missing something." And I said, we couldn't be missing something. We got Brian, we got a male and a female saluting our memorial. And she said, you still forgot something. She said, you forgot the dog. She was right. By the end of that evening, I'd called Dan, and we started things moving forward. Sadly, the space is here, but the bronze statue has not been completed in time for this service. My invitation to all of you is to be here on Veterans Day, November 11th, when we will dedicate the statue of the working military dog. Sadly, our friend Diane has recently passed away, and her memorial service was earlier this month. But her son, Gary Deal, who grew up in Laverne, went to the Naval Academy in Annapolis, and a retired four-stripe Navy captain, will be here as our guest speaker. I would like to recognize the company in Delaware who who created the statues, Big Bronze. They worked closely with us and with Brian and got it right, we feel. Brian shaking his head yes. We think they did. And so did his mom and dad. So a huge thank you to Big Bronze and their creative team. Also Permaco. Permaco is a company who has coordinated all of the pavers that you see, all of the flag plaques, the little saying in front of Brian, everything that you see, the obelisk, all the names in gold were done by Permaco, which is a Laverne company that we are proud to work with. And of course, we can't thank you enough, our Public Works Department, for the entire memorial that they personally built and the expansion of concrete tape professionally completed and the delicate placing of the statues. If you've never seen a backhoe with a scoop perform in a delicate fashion, you may have missed your chance. It was amazing. Great job, guys. At this time, I would like to introduce a very, very special friend to Laverne, friend to me, a man of courage, a man of inspiration, and a man of hope, Brian Anderson.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Okay. Sorry about that. I just pull up my speech. So first off, I would just like to say thank you so much to Don. Thank you to everybody coming here. All the distinguished guests here today, the mayor, the congressman, everybody here. Thank you guys so much. I am incredibly privileged, humbled, and honored to be here speaking today. So today, for Memorial Day, I'm humbled here to be speaking, and humbled that you would be choosing my likeness to represent this memorial and wounded veterans all over this nation. I'm privileged to speak on their behalf as well. Their valor, their bravery, reflect the values of our military family, and we owe a grand measure of gratitude to those that gave their all in defense of freedom. I know it sounds cliche, but freedom really isn't free. It comes through huge cost and sacrifice from our brave men and women in service. The selfless sacrifice and unwavering commitment to our nation's values deserve our deepest respect and gratitude. Now, after I got blown up in 2005, and I woke up in the hospital at Walter Reed as a triple amputee, and I really had no idea what kind of life I would have, what kind of quality of life I would have, or where I was gonna go from there. But fortunately enough, I had a really good attitude, and I kind of just said, okay, take it a day at a time and see where it goes. And Memorial Day, I didn't really understand Memorial Day overnight or anything. I kind of grew that education and that respect. And it became the first Memorial Day after I got blown up, I realized that I was still here. And 2 months before I got blown up, I lost two of my best friends in Baghdad. And I was sitting there thinking about them, remembering them. And I kind of realized that I'm still here and they're not. And that it was up to me to live for them. And it was almost a responsibility to lead a good life and pay it forward in respect to them. And so that's what I really started trying to do I wanted to figure out how I could help others. I got back to good pretty quick, so I wanted to be able to help others get back to good too. And by having that attitude and having that drive, that really opened all the doors for me. It wasn't anything that I did that was all that special. It was going out, doing it, having the attitude that I had that opened all these doors, and it really allowed me to be able to help in those places that I was able to help. And I'm extremely proud to have done the work that I've done so far, and it's not over. I'm always going to continue to strive to do good, to help support my military brothers and sisters, and continue to lead an amazing life, because life isn't over just because something bad happens. So today, after we leave here, I'm going to spend time to reflect, think about, remember, and continue living on for my battle buddies. And so I hope you guys have an amazing, wonderful Memorial Day. Please try to remember those that we lost. And thank you so much. This is this is the most incredible honor that I've ever had in my life. And I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all.
Thank you, Brian. We're going to call you back up here in just a minute, so don't go anywhere. At this time, we're going to dedicate the bronze statues to the City of Laverne and the Laverne Veterans Memorial. Commander, Senior Vice Commander, and Junior Vice Commander, would you please report to the statuary? Vicki Conley, would you please report to the center? Brian to the right. And I want to say representative, but retired Representative Grace Napolitano, please to the left. Your sons can come and give you a hand also. We're about to cut the ribbons to dedicate these statues. So I want you to know that these statues are a continuing tribute to all veterans who, in times of war and peace, honorably served a great country. Our debt to them can never be repaid. Ladies and gentlemen, please cut the ribbon. That's it. For our special guests, thank you very much for being a part of this. Ladies and gentlemen, when the ceremony is over, I want you to feel free to walk up and touch and make these statues real to you. They're not just to be looked at, they're to be touched and to understand what service means. So please feel free to do that. Today, we're going to have a special part of our Memorial Day ceremony, something we probably should have done many times before, but it doesn't always come to you in the midst of preparing all of this. But today, we'd like to recognize Purple Heart awardees. Those who were wounded by enemy action, stand and be recognized. If you have a Purple Heart, please stand, or raise your hand if you cannot stand. We usually, those of you who come here often, you know I like to add music to our programs, and I'd like to add a song right now that begins the solemn part of this ceremony. To begin, AJ, would you play We Remember by Stephen Curtis Chapman?
This is for the ones who heard the fight for freedom calling, and for the ones who answered, I'll do what I can. For the ones who ran to battle, who believed that freedom mattered, well, this is for you. And this is for the ones whose orders took them to the front line. For the ones who fell and never made it home. And for the ones who came back broken, with memories too hard to be spoken, this is for you. We remember, and we are thankful, we are grateful, and we know freedom isn't free. Oh, we you pay, it's not in vain, and it will never be forgotten, 'cause we remember. And this is for the ones whose war was wandering and waiting, and for the moms and dads, families back at home, those with pictures by their beds who had to learn to live again. Oh, this is for you. We remember, we are thankful and we are grateful, 'cause we know freedom isn't free. Oh, we remember, yes, we remember the gift you gave, the price you paid, it's not in vain, and it will never be forgotten. And we remember every time we chase our dreams, or pray out loud, or speak our mind, and even when we disagree, oh, we remember. And though sometimes we've lost our way, we're still the land of the free and the home of the brave. And we remember, and we are thankful, we are grateful, we know freedom isn't free. Oh, we remember, and we remember the gift you gave, the price you paid, it's not in vain, and it will never be forgotten. No, 'cause we remember. Oh, we remember.
Will the POW-MIA table detail please report? The POW table is a solemn moment for Memorial Day. Listening to the ceremony and seeing the table and the chair behind is heart-rending. Please consider 80,000 men and women remain unaccounted for. 80,000. Two of those people, their names are on our memorial. Lieutenant Colonel James Richard McKelvin, United States Air Force, was shot down over North Vietnam. Private Alan Townsend, U.S. Army. His flight was lost at sea over the North Pacific. We will never forget. Ladies and gentlemen, the POW MIA ceremony.
The table before you is a place of honor. It is set for one. This table is our way of symbolizing the fact that members of our profession of arms are missing from our midst. They are commonly called POWs or MIA. We call them brothers. They are unable to be with us this evening, so we remember them. This table, for one, is small, symbolizing the frailty of the prisoner alone against his oppressors. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. Remember. The single red rose displayed in a vase reminds us of the families and the loved ones of our comrades in arms who keep the faith, awaiting their return. Remember. The red ribbon tied so prominently on the vase is reminiscent of the red ribbon worn upon the lapel and breast of thousands who bear witness to their unyielding determination to demand a proper accounting for all missing. Remember. The candle. The candle is lit, symbolizing the upward reach of their unconquerable spirit. Remember. A slice of lemon is on the bread plate to remind us of their bitter fate. Remember. There is salt upon the bread plate, symbolic of the family's tears as they wait. Remember. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us this night. Remember. The chair. The chair is empty. They are not here. Remember. Remember, all of you who served with them and call them comrades, who depend upon their might and aid and relied upon them, for surely they have not forsaken you. Remember. Remember until the day they come home. Remember.
First Sergeant and Honor Bell Guard, please post. I'll post at the battle cross. First Sergeant, call the roll.
Aviation Ordnance Man Axtell, report. Aviation Ordnance Man Charles Axtell, report. Aviation Ordnance Man Second Class Charles Manning Axtell, United States Navy, World War II veteran, report. Lance Corporal Sorensen, report. Lance Corporal Donald Sorensen, report. Lance Corporal Donald Robert Sorensen, United States Marine Corps, Vietnam veteran, killed in action, report. Private Hammer, report. Private Steve Hammer, report. Private Steve Hammer, served in the United States Army, Cold War veteran, United States Army Europe Command. Report. Private First Class Castro, Private First Class Jesus Castro. Report. Private First Class Jesus Beas Castro, United States Army, Korean War veteran, killed in action, whose paver with his name has been placed in our honor courtyard. Report. Lieutenant Commander Reed. Report. Lieutenant Commander Joseph Reed. Report. Lieutenant Commander Joseph C. Reed served during World War II in the Pacific Theater of Operations, later the Chief of Medicine at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, and at Long Beach Naval Hospital as Chief of Senior Officers, whose paver with his name has been placed in our honor courtyard. Report. Private First Class Sanchez. Report. Private First Class David Sanchez. Report. Private First Class David Sanchez, Gold Star veteran, lived in Laverne, graduate of Bonita High School, served the United States Army, 581st Signal Radio Relay Company, awarded 2 Bronze Service Medals for meritorious service for combat in Korea, whose paver with his name has been placed in our honor courtyard. Report. Private Moreno. Report. Private Pedro Moreno. Report. Private Pedro Romero, Moreno, Gold Star veteran, lived in Laverne, served in the United States Marine Corps, attached to Company B, 1st Battalion, 7th Marine, 1st Marine Division, killed in action while fighting the enemy in Korea, April 9th, 1953, whose name is newly engraved on the obelisk at the Laverne Veterans Memorial. Report. Private First Class Asensio. Report. Private First Class Henry Asensio. Report. Private First Class Henry Hernandez Asensio, Gold Star veteran, born in Laverne, served in the United States Army 187th Airborne Regimental Team, killed in action October 20th, 1950 in Pyongyang, North Korea, whose name is newly engraved on the obelisk of the Laverne Veterans Memorial. Report. Mariner Northern. Report. Mariner Clifford Northern. Report. Merchant Marine Mariner H. Clifford Northern, one of 250,000 men that served in the Merchant Marine during World War II and in 1985 were granted veteran status. Mariner Cliff Northern received war zone decorations for service in the Mid-Atlantic, Mediterranean, and Pacific. Later, Cliff enlisted in the Army, achieving the rank of Master Sergeant. Northern served as an intel and recon soldier during the Korean War. Among his decorations is a Purple Heart. The Merchant Marine flag flies in the honor courtyard and is dedicated by a plaque to H. Clifford Northern Jr. by his sons. Report. We, the members of Band of Brothers Post 12034, veterans of foreign wars of the United States, are here to pay a lasting tribute of respect to Jess Gomez, our departed comrade. We want to thank Jess for his dedication to our country and to honor his service in the United States Army. Sergeant Gomez, report. Sergeant Jess Gomez, report. Sergeant Jess J. Gomez, United States Army, Vietnam veteran, 1965-1966, armored personnel carrier driver, base camps Binh Hoa, Chu Chi, Tay Ninh, life member of the Vietnam Veterans of America, served in the Army National Guard, 1981-1993, Service Battery 2 of the 114th Field Artillery, Arcadia, California, a proud Army soldier. Report. We, the members of the Band of Brothers, Post 12034, veterans of foreign wars of the United States, are here to pay a lasting tribute of respect to Joe Martinez, our departed comrade. We want to thank Joe for his dedication to our country and to honor his service in the United States Marine Corps. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Martinez, report. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Joe Martinez, report. Chief Warrant Officer 5 Joe Martinez Sr. served in the United States Marine Corps, Vietnam veteran, member of the Band of Brothers, and is a proud Marine. Report.
Bill Guard, ring the bell. Ladies and gentlemen, refer to the back of your program. Detail, a memorial salute. Riddick, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, our comrades did not report. Thank God for men and women like these. Commander, would you please take your position at the memorial? Captain of the rifle team, prepare. Life Scout Dylan Mertz, please post. Lieutenant Commander Gil Cisneros, United States Navy veteran, would you join us at the memorial? Sergeant Kelly, United States Army National Guard, would you please join us at the memorial? Sergeant Brian Anderson, U.S. Army veteran, would you please join us at the memorial? Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand? Rifle team, prepare a volley. Reset, pop.
Yes, ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
I get to try to get plan. Do you should be this? So it's days. Yeah, that's you on that should be in a bit of a
For those that didn't know, Gil Cisneros is a retired U.S. Navy officer, a proud Navy veteran. And we have an announcement from our commander.
Okay, good.
Before we bring the ceremony to a close, I have an announcement. As of June 1st, the VFW Post 12034 will have a new post commander. I am pleased to introduce Staff Sergeant Maria McKinley, United States Air Force 2002 to 2007, as our next post commander. Maria has done an outstanding job as my senior vice. She will be the first female commander of this post. Let's congratulate Maria McKinley.
Could we have the Boy Scout flag detail post at the flag, the U.S. colors? Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to retire the colors, but before so, a prayer from Chaplain Roy Hallberg, the Verne Veterans Memorial Chaplain.
Our Father in heaven, we acknowledge how emotional this time is for many of us. It was emotional for me to hear the names of two of my friends remembered and honored. And I'm sure for the rest of us as well, that list of names spoke to many of our hearts. And so truly we have gathered here today to remember, to reflect, and to pay honor. We honor all who have served, those who continue to serve, and especially remember that those who paid the ultimate price, reminding us that, as we've been told a couple of times, freedom isn't free. And so we're grateful for the opportunity to remember. We're grateful for a city that still beats red, white, and blue and is willing to honor God and country with boldness. And so we're grateful for this day, this time of remembrance. We're grateful to reflect. But I would pray as well for those who yet grieve the loss of those who've paid that ultimate price, those who find this day difficult and perhaps every day difficult because of that loss. And I would ask that you would meet them in this time of need. You tell us that you're the Father of mercies, the God of all comfort. Be for each one exactly what they need. I think also of those who yet today remain in harm's way. We pray for their protection, their safety. We pray most importantly for their soon return to their families, for peace. We pray for our president, for our Congress, our Senate, those who serve. Give them wisdom to make good choices and good decisions as they guide our country. You tell us that the Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. He knows those who take refuge in him. And I pray that for each of us, for each of these who remember and experience the pain of loss, that they might find refuge and help in your presence. Thank you for doing that as we give you thanks together in your matchless name. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Chaplain Roy Hallberg, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of our ceremony, so we are going to retire the colors. Captain of the Honor Guard, retire the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.
Honor Guard! Attend! Hot!
step, forward, march.
Present arms.
Back flip, march. March time, march. Detail hold. Left phase. The guard advance and retire the colors. Full out. Guards. One step forward, guards. Color guards. Left phase. Got a half step. Forward, march. Mark time, march.
Company.
Hold.
Order arms.
Order arms. Order arms. Right phase. Order arms. Attention. Dismissed, gentlemen. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony today. Thank you very much for being here today.